we're back. We're going to head into a brand new world news update. This one is very, very interesting for me because where we are in pop culture and society and with everything going on in our country and how a lot of other countries are kind of laughing at us and taking advantage of us, this is something that I find very interesting in relevance to all of those things. So TikTok is officially on the chopping block. You like that? I did. That's why I chose to say it. You know, it's very interesting because a lot of people, you know, scoffed at former President Donald Trump when he actually wanted to ban TikTok. And now several years later, that's exactly what the Biden administration is trying to do. And I don't necessarily think this is a bad thing because we have had a drastic downgrade in the levels of our intelligence and education in the country, as well as our productivity and awareness of ourselves and of our country and of our standing in the world. TikTok has really been a force to be reckoned with in a lot of good and bad ways, very similar to social media as a whole. But I think it's very telling that the type of content that is allowed on TikTok and encouraged in the algorithms on TikTok here and in places like perhaps Canada and so forth is very different than the algorithms and the type of content that is promoted in places like China, who actually own the app. So I think that that's very telling and very interesting, especially with the data mines, the intelligence surveillance and everything else. Like, it's scary the amount of information that's been collected on Americans all over the United States in regards to TikTok. And I think it's also very telling that the president of TikTok will not even allow his children on it. So it begs the question, why are you? Now, here's what's going on. It is officially on the chopping block. Like I said, TikTok goes potentially bye-bye. They are voting to potentially ban it in the United States. And what does that mean for you? Two very big life-changing things. Okay, so listen up. If you are on TikTok and it ends up being banned in the continental US and you are an American and you try to use a VPN to distort your location and to access the app and still use the app, you are going to be in very big trouble. You are up to potentially two different things and possibly both of them, which would be even more devastating for most Americans. One is you can actually end up with a penalty fee of over possibly up to $1 million and or 20 years in jail, or even more tragically, both $1 million and 20 years in jail. Now, to me, this is very, very interesting because like child prawn and rapists and, you know, all kinds of other violent crimes are not even seeing 20 years in prison right now. Like, theft and grand larceny are barely getting prosecuted right now. But if you try to use a VPN to access TikTok, if it gets banned here in the US, you could serve 20 years in jail and or $1 million fine, which you probably don't have. I find that very, very interesting. I find that very interesting. I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And speaking of random oddness and things that I don't know if we needed, but maybe some people did. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. Walmart is boasting a brand new flavor of ice cream. I'm trying to get Vince Russo to eat it. Like, it's been one of my favorite things over the last few months, getting him to try really things that I would find really disgusting, like Peeps Pepsi. Watching Tommy Wiseau's The Room. And now there is officially a ranch ice cream. It came out in the latter part of March, I think around March 24th. And you can officially have a Hidden Valley ranch ice cream. It is in select Walmarts near you. Check out your local Walmart, find out if it's there, and try it. I want to know if it's as terrible as I think it is. I don't know if we really needed a ranch ice cream at this point. And last up, no, well, not last up, but one of the interesting things on the docket for world news today deals with a woolly mammoth and how I feel like people have not been paying attention to Jurassic Park. Here's why I say that. An Australian company, as far as world news, I like to incorporate many different countries here. An Australian company unveiled a woolly mammoth DNA flesh meatball. Yeah. This is not the plot of Jurassic Park. This is like legit real. It debuted at Nemo, which is a museum in the Netherlands. And apparently they were able to create this flesh woolly mammoth meatball by cultivating and creating the DNA of the woolly mammoth with technology that is very reminiscent, like Jurassic Park adjacent. Like, have you guys not seen those movies? Do you guys not know what happens? Okay, we've had Cocaine Bear, which is based off of a true story. We're gonna have Meth Gator, which is based off of like legit advertisements, PSA announcements from police departments, I think in Tennessee. Okay, we've had killer bees, we've had, you know, a global pandemic, we've got all these other things, and now we're doing DNA meatballs of woolly mammoths. Like, we've got AI threatening humanity. Did we really need woolly mammoth meatballs? Like, did we need this? Like, just like, did we need ranch ice cream? I don't know, but I do think that whoever was involved in that project should probably be forced to eat a piece of it, because like, that's just so gross. Like, I think I could live my whole life without eating a DNA enriched fleshy meatball woolly mammoth. That just sounds like some Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Jurassic Park meets Human Centipede shizit. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Scientists at Louisiana State University have confirmed that apparently a rare gamma ray burst showed an X-ray and gamma ray energy that was likely the brightest burst since the beginning of human civilization. They said it potentially signals and signifies the death of a star and the birth of a new black hole. This kind of sounds terrifying and oddly kind of like Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Are you guys with me on that? Like, that is a remake I kind of would not mind seeing. Not a remake, but a continuation. Like, she's all grown up and now she has a daughter. Kind of like I had this idea, which I think is now actually going to be a real thing, which I'm really excited about. Like Sabrina's teenage witch. Like, it's her as a mother and now she has her own teenage witch. Like, I think that would be so cool. I kind of want the same thing for Xenon, the sequel. Except, you know, now she's all grown up or whatever. I don't know. I find black holes and all that kind of stuff kind of like cringe. Like, ooh. Just like AI and aliens. Like, have you guys not seen these movies? It does not bode very well for us as the humans. Dodgecoin in the world of cryptocurrency rose almost 30%, almost overnight, after users saw that Twitter changed from the little blue and white bird to the actually Dodge meme, which represents the image of the cryptocurrency Dodgecoin. Now this comes at a very interesting time, you know, record inflation and, you know, recession and preparing for different things. This brings to mind one of these segments on this podcast and on my YouTube channel called Things They Don't Teach You in School But Should, which I've been doing with you guys off and on for a while now. You guys might have thought I was crazy when I introduced to you guys something that they don't teach you in school, which is the 50-30-20 rule and the 80-20 rule if you're even more ambitious. This would be a really good time for that. Check out my YouTube channel for those segments if you want to catch up. Last but not least is something that I'm going to squeeze into how much time I have left in this section of the podcast. But if you want more information on this and to inquire, go to blacktomato.com, BLACKTOMATO.com. This is really, really exciting. I'm a huge 007 James Bond fan. My dream car is... It's not the same as a 007, so do not come at me because I already know that. But my dream car is like a 5-speed white on black Aston Martin Vanquish. Oh my God, I love that car. Love that car. And yes, I know how to drive it because I literally learned how to drive on a 5-speed and 6-speed. So yes, your girl knew how to drive that before she knew how to drive an automatic. 007 production company Eon was looking for somebody to join this idea that they had, and they landed on the company called Black Tomato, who apparently, I did not know this ahead of time, was infamous for bringing about these vacations that were reminiscent with the details of Agatha Christie novels, which are awesome. And so they partnered with the 007 production company to come up with the ultimate luxury James Bond vacation. And because they have access to all the archives of James Bond throughout the years and all the films, you're going to get a lot of those details in these vacations, and as you should, because they are not cheap. So there are 60 spots available for this. About 30% of the spots are already filled, which is very surprising. I am super excited about this. You can get a 5-night trip for 15,000 euros, which is roughly 18.5 thousand American dollars, or you can get the 12-night trip, which is called the Assignment, which is awesome. It's about 60 4,000 euros or roughly 74,000 US dollars. You get to board a glamorous jet around iconic 007 locations like in London, Paris, Monaco, Lake Como, Venice, and the Austrian Alps. It includes so much detail from the films. You get to, let me see here, you get a steak Diane martini, shaken, not stirred. You get Bollinger champagne, Beluga caviar, private entry to the ski area made famous inspector. You get to do training sessions with Daniel Craig stunt doubles. You get to do an actual poker game with Andreas, Daniel, who was the dealer from Casino Royale. You get to do a chase down the Thames like they did in The World Is Not Enough with the original Superhawk 34. You're getting so much. So definitely check that out, blacktomato.com, for more information.